I wasn't even thinking about Lestat when I wrote Interview with the Vampire. I was thinking about Louis. I mean, Louis was the hero. Everything revolved around Louis. Louis was me. I was Louis. I'm the only woman ever played by Brad Pitt in a movie. But I was truly Louis. That was me. And Lestat just sprang to life in the corner of my eye. I mean, this character took on all this ferocious life. Now, whether, what that came from in my own life experience, whether that was my husband's presence, his vitality, I'm not sure. But when characters come to life that way, they leave behind all the influences. I never sat down and thought, well, this is based on my husband Stan, or this is what Stan would do. I had an idea of Lestat as the man of action, the man who could do things that I couldn't do, the man who could make decisions that I never had the nerve to make, and the person who could go through life joyfully in spite of the questions that torment me, the doubts that torment me, the horror of death that torments me. And of course, that was tied up with the idea that he was an 18th century personality. He was from the age of reason. He was much more rational, much more cynical in some ways than Louis. Louis was more a naive, romantic character, much more, I think, 19th century. All of that was working in my mind. Not that the Romantic period is limited to the 19th century, certainly not, starts in the 18th, but still, Lestat represented the Enlightenment. He represented a different view on things. He's also inherently a comic character in the sense of always triumphing and always coming back and never being really destroyed. He never really absorbs a tragic definition of himself for very long. He always comes back laughing, at everything and just rebounding. It may take him a few years, but he always does it. But what all went into that, I don't know, other than the fact that I really wanted to explore a personality that was different from my own. And so he became a kind of dream version of what I'd like to be. He was the man I wanted to be. He was the person I wanted to be. I wanted his strength. And once he became a living character, I never had to consciously steer him in any direction. It was just a matter of getting into Lestat, and then he'd go, and he'd take me where he wanted in the novel. I never had to worry about his dialogue or what he was going to say. My knowledge of him was so complete and so instinctive that I could just write. I mean, the other characters I might have to think about where they were coming from, what they had to say and so forth. Not him. It was almost, I still feel this way about him. I haven't written a page, with Lestat since 2002, but I know exactly what he thinks about everything. If I walk into a theater and see a play, I know whether he likes it or not. If I watch an opera, I know whether he loves that opera. If we go visit a city, I know what he thinks of that city. I'll never be away from him. He'll always be part of me.